If you guys are ready, we'll go ahead and open up for questions for Will.
2 days of work. Your coach said this isn't real football, but it looks like y'all are trying to make it real football out there.
Yeah, no, we're flying around pretty good. You know, we're getting after it. We're practicing hard. So, pads come on tomorrow, but I thought we've had two pretty good days of work.
How much retention have you seen from the spring with the new offense?
I mean, a ton. I think it's helped, like I've said. Having those OTAs in the summer's really helped, and then, having a coaching staff that will meet with you freely whenever. Go over, install, whatever it may be. So our coaching staff has done a great job of that.
Talk about the OTAs and the value of those things, because when you came in, they really didn't have them.
Mm-hmm. No, it's awesome. To be able to, get out there with coaches. Really coach the details. How coach wants things ran on the offense, especially with our offense. There's so much attention to detail. A lot of different formations, variations, motions, things like that. So it's good to be out there with all the offensive staff.
Instead of just pitching and catching with receivers like you used to.
Yeah, no, it helps. It helps for sure.
You did lose Dylan in the backfield to the transfer portal. It seems like for the first time in your career, you may have more running back depth than you've had. I know at times in the past that third or fourth guy has been a walk-on, but you've got several scholarship guys back there with you now. Just the difference you've seen with them so far.
No, it's a great group. It starts leading off Woody, and your guess is as good as mine. He's going to be the second running back to go, but I think that the whole running back group has done a great job. Coach Hughes, Coach Knox have done a great job coaching those guys. Really coaching hard too. They never settle for less, so they've done a really good job in the running back room.
The coaches said a lot this summer that Kevon just seems to fit his mentality here.
Yeah.
Have you seen that from him?
No, 100%. Quiet guy. Just works hard. All he cares about is working. He doesn't say a whole lot, but when you're out there in practice and it's the last couple periods and everybody's tired, he's one of the main guys speaking up and talking in the huddle. So, that's a great sign to see from him.
Coach said he really wanted you guys to fuel your leadership towards the younger people on the team. How has that gone throughout camp so far?
I mean, it's been good. I think anytime you're a leader, a veteran guy on the team, especially a senior, you're trying to set an example for the younger guys, how we do things in Mississippi State. So, it's not anything I'm really being intentional on, just trying to be myself every day and show the young guys how we do things around here.
He's still not anywhere close to what he's going to be, but how much difference can you see in Chris now that he's had a summer to get the leg right from what he was in spring?
He's done a good job. I think he's a very talented guy. He really works hard. He really loves the game, loves to learn. So the future's definitely bright for him.
2 days in, what do you think about practices so far?
Yes, so far so good, I think. Obviously, it's the first couple of days. You kind of got to knock the rust off. It's been a while. I know for me it's been since January, so I'm trying to get back in the rhythm and the swing of things. I think the heat's great for us. Kind of makes you kind of make a choice and eradicate those bad thoughts and, push through, and I think that's a great advantage for us.
Spoken like a linebacker. Can you really knock the rust off it without full contact, though?
Oh, you can. You can train good habits, and I think you can learn how or practice tackling without pads. Obviously it's not as good, but I think you can train good habits or bad habits with just a jersey on. So
with you and Bookie both back, what's the comfort level of the linebackers just knowing things right off the bat?
Yeah, it's great. I love Bookie. He's been my partner in crime for 3 years now and stuff. So we kind of speak each other's language without talking. I can kind of finish his sentence and vice versa. So it's great to have him as a leader, and we can always rely on him. So yeah, it's phenomenal.
Going off of that, Bookie was obviously named to one of the media preseason teams. You weren't picked. I'm just curious, how much motivation does that serve to you?
Yeah, you try not to pay too much attention to it, obviously. I got people blowing me up saying I was robbed and stuff, but, whatever, it's fine. I think Bookie was too low. I think he was second team. He should be, without a doubt, first team. But, it's preseason. It's fine. It's on paper. We got to go out there and prove it day in and day out and, win some games. So.
Well, the Butkus Award's about the last one announced, so y'all both have a chance for that one.
Maybe so. Maybe.
Coach
he will for sure.
Coach was talking about how he wanted the older players like you guys to mentor the younger guys on the team. How's that going so far in camp?
Yeah, it's good. So I was just telling them, my preacher back in Tupelo says, preach the gospel everywhere and if necessary use words. And so I think on the football field you got to lead by example. With the heat and stuff. A lot of times it's hard to be vocal because you're sucking wind too, and so you just kind of lead by example by going hard and eradicating those bad thoughts and just pushing through. And the young guys kind of look up to you as an older guy who's been through it, and so they look at your actions. So make sure you give them something good to look at.
With you and yourself, with you and Bookie and Paige, that's a lot of SEC reps, a lot of experience. Who's some younger guys you think that can can help that depth situation this season?
As far as linebackers, Nick Mitchell is having a good camp, and he's very bright. He's very athletic, you know, and he's very eager to learn. And you know, he's a good buddy of mine, and he's gonna have a good year.
Watching JP out there, I mean, he kind of fits that hybrid role. Even though he's bulked up some, but he seems to have his speed. He can play kind of linebacker and do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, no doubt. JP has done great. You know, we messed with him about gaining weight and stuff, which he had to, and he had to change his whole gait, you know, to keep up with the weight and stuff. But no, he's still explosive. He's still faster than me. So he'll be a big asset for us this year.
What's it like practicing against an offense that's not just air raid now?
Yeah, so you know we play against tight ends and 11 and 12 personnel teams every week, and used to we would just see them during the scout team week during season, and now we see them year round. So that does nothing but benefit us. So it's
You
good.
remember Jacarius from his first year here, or your first year here. What's he look like now?
Yeah, he's developed. Obviously, you know he's a great player, and he's got some good guys to learn from. And so as he just keeps learning and developing, then you know the sky's the limit for him.
Obviously, key if we're is to stay healthy. How do you feel coming into camp and just ready to attack at full speed?
Yeah, yes, sir. I feel good. I feel healthy mentally, physically, and so that's nice. You know, after the first day of camp, you'll never be 100% until January, February, and so just kind of staying as healthy as possible. You know, recovery is just as important as you know on the field. So feel good. Thanks for asking.
Are there any key differences you've seen between this camp and last year, you know, with the coaching change?
Yeah, you know, Coach Arnett is very hard-nosed. I mean, it's all very hard. We practice a little bit earlier, which really seems to have no, like, it's still hot. You know, you're still going to have to make a decision whether you're going to let the heat break you or not, and that's on us and the coaching staff to, you know, make the decision. And but this is going to be a very long and hard camp, which is great for us. So.
Ask Will the same question. How much retention do you see Jaden from the spring learning the new offense and the ins and outs of it?
I mean, it's just getting a lot better each and every day. Every guys coming in and work. We got a lot of new guys, learning a lot of new positions. Everybody moving around a lot. It's going to be a fun year.
How much more is that competition amped up with going from the air raid where Leach would have 11, 12 receivers on the field at any given time, and you know within the rotation in the game, but seeing that rotation cut down, how much is that amped up that competition?
It amps up the competition a whole lot. I mean, you get less reps, so you got less reps to prove yourself, and I feel like that is making our room a lot better.
What's it like having a tight end over there at the side of the ball with you?
It's actually kind of nice. I mean, you got a big guy that they don't know if he's going to run out for a route or block. I mean, it's just good to have him beside you.
Y'all ever give Antonio a hard time about being tight end now?
I mean, we used to. It didn't kind of wore off, but we used to give him a real hard time about it.
What would you say to him?
Just tell him that he's going from a small guy to a big guy, basically. That's what he is.
I know it's still early, and when the pads go on, things may change, even though quarterbacks are off limits to be hit. But it seems like Mike has really improved his passing from the spring. Have you noticed that?
I have. I mean, he's been up here all summer working hard. I mean, just like everybody else. I mean, I feel like everybody's improving, the whole offensive staff at least.
Yeah, he had a deep strike there today that we got to see, and had two guys covering, but he just laid the ball in there for 40 yards out.
Yeah, he's slinging it. He's gotten a lot stronger arm. He's learned the game a lot better, learned the offense a lot better.
Take us through your new podcast. How did Ryland approach you about doing that?
I mean, he just came up to me in the locker room. He was like, "Hey, bro, you want to do a podcast?" I mean, yeah, let's do it.
Seems like right
Simple.
up your alley, huh?
Yep.
Jaden, you're one of the veterans now on the team. Just talk about your role as a leader and what you hope to do for the younger guys in the program.
I just hope I don't slip up. I mean, I've seen it. You slip up as an older guy, and all the young guys follow right behind that slip up, and they just take that and think that's what is supposed to happen. So it's hard as far as being a leader for. Just try to come every day and do the right things, do the small things right, basically.
What have you seen from, I know it's still early, but what have you seen from transfers, Freddie and Seydoux so far?
Freddie got great feet. Seydoux's a big body. I mean, Seydoux go up with a football. Freddie's got good feet, good routes. And I think they'll be a great asset for the team.
Good. It's pretty hot outside. That's it.
Are there any key differences you've seen with the way Arnett runs camp?
Yeah, it's completely different from last year because Leach and Arnett, they run it way different, but I like it though.
What are the differences that you see?
Just how practice run, the meetings, and then we got walkthrough at night. So, yeah, it's completely different from last year.
How expanded is your playbook been? Obviously, we saw in the spring with the reverses and even receivers throwing passes. How much extra does that add to y'all's film study?
Oh, it adds a lot because we had to stay in there like a little over 30 minutes, so everybody just ready to dial in everything, and so we could just come out on the field just execute.
Who's the best passer among the slot receivers?
Oh, it got to be Creed for sure. They say he was a quarterback in high school. I ain't know that.
Well, what kind of range do you have?
I got about a 40-yard.
You say that with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I got about 43 yards, 40 yards for sure.
Did Pickering talk a little bit yesterday when he got you on that reverse?
Nah, he ain't too much say. Now I thought he was. I said something to him. He ain't pay me no mind. Though.
How different is it to have him back out there and
Oh,
with
it-
his athleticism up front?
Yeah, it's completely different because like when you add that type of piece to the defense, they just hard to run on and like do the reverses. So.
You spend 3 years trying to learn one offense and get the receiving part down pat, and now they've changed the offense. What are some of the differences that are going to help your game?
It just it really was no different. It just when I changed to the inside and everything much different in the inside. Like you gotta block safeties, linebackers, and the outside last year I ain't never did. I just blocked the cornerback. So yeah, it's gonna be a good experience this year.
Do the safeties give you a hard time when you try to block them now?
Some of them do, not all of them.
Who talks the most as the safeties?
It gotta be Marcus Banks for sure.
Does it? But he's old cornerback now. He's a safety.
Yeah, it gotta be Marcus Banks for sure.
So how do you feel about the rest of this camp? I mean, what are y'all, now that you've got the introduction to the offense, now it's time to really hone down and learn it, especially contact drills?
I mean, it's it'll all come together just day by day. We all just taking it day by day, really, because we still trying to dial in everything, just make sure we good and ready 110% for the first game.
How much does Creed stay in your ear? Just trying to soak up your knowledge.
It's a lot because if I get over on the play, he'll come back and ask me like, how did I do that? How did I set him up? And yeah, we talk almost every play, like every play.
What does it help in y'all's game that you got a tight end now in there to kind of take some of the pressure off?
Oh, it's really like, I don't know how to explain it because with the tight ends, it's way different. And then like with the tight end, they can block. It's like an extra lineman, really, and they can just run out and catch the ball too. So it's way different.
Appreciate it, Taylor.
Yes, sir.